Well, if I've got my Rad Power Bikes mug, we must be talking rad today. Naturally. Hey, I'm Arnie, and here we talk rad rovers. We go for rides, talk rad power bikes. If you're into any of that, why don't you consider subscribing? Just click that big red subscribe button, click the bell icon, so you'll be notified whenever we put up new stuff. It's a wet day here. And it's unusual for this time of the year to be wet. Usually it's pretty dry. So I thought I would talk a little bit today about my everyday carry bike kit. Something that I take on every ride. Your choices might be different, and that's kind of why I'm doing this. I want to hear what you take with you on your rides, not just what I'm doing, because I'm obviously a little bit different. For instance, because I do videos of my rides, I'll take along, GoPro stuff and harnesses and all that kind of stuff. And I always take my handy dandy new Burley Travois as well. Again, you're not going to do that because I suspect the vast majority of you don't have these. But let's get into what the everyday carry is. First off, of course, is a good helmet. I happen to like this nutcase helmet. Nice black, works well, but the thing that I like about it is that it has the constellations on it, various locations, various constellations, so that's kind of cool. I also take along Fix-A-Flat because I'm basically kind of lazy, and if I don't have to, I'd rather do this. I've never had to use it, so I don't even know if it will work with this, but I can't see any reason why it won't. So this is what I take along. Obviously, it's for a standard tire, so this should last me for multiple uses if it ever happens. Another thing I always take with me is some kind of bar of some kind. This happens to be a Cliff Builder bar. Obviously a short ride to the store or something, I'm not going to need it, but I always have it along. So it's nice to have some kind of food along. Next up is a pump. Now, this is kind of overkill. I've got the Fix-A-Flat thing, but I like having this along. Because I believe in being prepared. I just don't want to have to be in a position of having to try and call somebody. There isn't anybody really to call, but this electric pump, battery operated, rechargeable, boy, this really, really works well. And you're not going to get a lot of air pressure out of it. It'll fill up the tire once or twice. So you'll have to remember to recharge it if you use it, but works really, really well. I kind of like the color as well. Reminds me of an Ever Ready battery. Awesome. It's very cool. All right. Let's dig into, well, actually I have one other thing here that I set out. The disc lock. This goes on to your disc brakes. It has an alarm that's built into it. It kind of has a warning thing for if people accidentally bump the bike, but then it'll go off. And it is loud, it is annoying. And I don't see any way that this could be easily cut off. Easily being the key word. Anybody wants your bike, if they have the time, they're going to find some way. So anyway, this is my secondary locking system. By the way, these new Sheffield, I have to figure out a way of getting this off. I don't like this, but these little guys are great. Just big enough. This is the main locking system. This monster, this has got to be about 20 pounds. This is the Kryptonite, New York. I think it's the Forget About It. It just says New York on it. This is massive. It would take somebody quite some time to cut through it. And where I'm going, when I go to the stores and stuff, it's sitting out front of the store. You know, I can't see somebody, where I live anyway, having the time to cut through this thing. Could be wrong, but so far, so good. On the other side, I carry along some rubber gloves. And that's actually twofold. It used to be because I just didn't want to get my hands dirty if I had to fix a flat or put a chain on and that kind of stuff. But now, if I end up going to the store, the whole COVID-19, along with a face mask, which I didn't do here, a Deluxe tube repair kit. This one comes with tire levers in it, as well as the patches and what have you. Again, with everything that I've got, I should never be stranded. Fix a flat, the pump, patches. The thought of being stranded just obviously concerns me. And it's like, you're pushing a 70, 80 pounds here. If you end up being stranded someplace, I carry along some hex wrenches, probably overkill on this one because I'm not going to need some of these, but I don't like to break things up, so carry the whole thing. And the toolkit from RAD itself. And I have changed out some of the things because, as you know, some of the tools are kind of cheap. And I also added the extra, whoops, they're coming out, extra zip ties because, when you take the back wheel off, the electronic cord, I don't know what that thing is called down there, is held onto the frame with these guys. And I also have put in here some wire cutters to snip those things so I don't have the, and to also cut that off if I have to take the back wheel off. I'm stuttering. So there's that. When I rode road bikes, the thought of carrying this much stuff along would have been insane. I just never, ever would have done that. But times have changed. What else have I got in here? This right here, I should say these right here are super. I'll do a whole video on these guys. As you well know, most of us who have RADs have a ton of things mounted onto the handlebars. And that can present a problem if you have a flat and you've got to, flip the bike over on its seat handlebars. These little guys, these are called Handlebar Jacks. These are a godsend. You strap them on, the little feet stick up in the air, and when you flip it over, they keep the handlebars off the ground. It is such a great idea. That doesn't mean you're not going to have to adjust some of your things depending on what you've got up on your handlebars, but these work a treat. They are super. Like I said, I'll do a separate video. They just slide together like that, makes them nice and compact, well thought out. Excellent product. All right, last but not least, something that I don't think many people think about. First aid kit. You know, again, I would never have thought of bringing one of these things with me when I rode road bikes. Just too much. But we're talking rad power bikes here, e-bikes. You've got the extra oomph. Why not carry things that will make you feel safer? And in case, you know, I have everything in here that we could possibly need. Wound wipes, antibiotics, Band-Aids, scissors, tweezers, just a whole slew of things. And, you know, better safe than sorry. Might as well. Typically, you're going to be traveling at higher speeds than on a regular bike. And so if something happens, you're going to end up with some wounds. Might as well have something along to help take care of that. Now, by the way, I'm going to leave links to everything that you might be interested in down in the description. Now, the real reason for this video is not so much what I carry. I'm really curious what you carry. Do you think I've got that I'm overdoing it? Probably. But are there things maybe that you have that I haven't thought of that I should be thinking about? I know, an extra tube maybe, but then I've got all this other stuff. All right. Thanks so much for stopping by again. And if you haven't already, make sure you subscribe, click that like button, leave a comment, share. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.